us to be here with you all today.
I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you so much for coming to our session.
So
And I can see there are so many familiar faces in the audience today. Thank you so much. Yes, I can see better now. Now, how many of you in the audience here are women? Ladies, let me hear your voice. Women! Good.
how about the men? Can you hear us, please? Hello! Thank you so much.
Now, how many of you agree that men are from Mars and women are from Venus? Quite many. Now, what happened when these two different creatures have to coexist on Earth? What happened? Some say peace, some say war, some say make love, not war. But whatever your answer is, today we are going to share with you a story of men and women that might make you think otherwise. But before we reveal the story, allow us to introduce ourselves first. I'm Devi.
I'm Take. We are from Hakuhodo. Today we come here using our spaceship named Garuda Indonesia. Right?
Cool, isn't
It is cool.
So the story that we are going to reveal today is based on a very hot topic, gender equality. We know that there has been so many studies that talk about gender equality. Usually it was discussed in relation to economic, politics, work, health, and education. Not only from government point of view, but brands, medias, and marketers have also been trying to raise the discussions about gender equality. Usually, when we discuss about it, we are looking at it from the point of view of what's happening in the society. But, do we really know what is actually happening inside the house? Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take this moment to think and ponder. Have you really applied gender equality at home? So that is why we created this study, Who Rules the House? Is it men or women? Who rules your house? Is it you, husbands, or you, wives? Who rule your house, Sake?
Well, for Japanese, definitely men. I rule house.
That is so true. In Japan, man rules the house. But do you know that actually ASEAN countries are much more progressive than Japan? We can see that from Global Gender Gap Report, ASEAN countries are way better. Singapore is on number 65, which is quite good. Vietnam is 69. Thailand is 75, and Indonesia is 84. And Take,
Yep.
do you know in which place Japan is?
Singapore's 65, right? So let me say 10.
10?
Yes.
Well, Japan is in number 114. 114.
Oh my gosh.
Way down below.
So we have to improve as soon as possible, right?
Yes, of course. And that reality reflected in society as well. There's this recent social phenomenon that is very, very interesting. How many of you know Death Note? It's a manga. So basically, the story is about a very powerful notebook who can kill anyone whose name is written on it. So if you want to wish someone dead, just write their names on it. Now, this Death Note inspired Japanese housewives. We found there's this bestseller book that is called Dana Shine. In Japanese, literally means husband, die. So it's a Death Note husband. And it consists of compilations of all the darkest thought from unhappy Japanese wives who do and wish unfortunate things to their husband. If you take a look at the cover of the book, at the bottom part, you can see the illustration in it. And there's a copy that says, I use my husband's toothbrush to wash the toilet every day.
So that's why now we have to bring new toothbrush every day like this one. See?
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have spare toothbrush, please give it to Take.
Oh yeah, I have many pockets. Yes, please.
So, Take,
Yep.
after finding out about this book, do you feel safe at home now?
Am I safe?
Yes.
Of course, yeah.
Do you think your wife might write something on the Death Note husband?
Well, I've never thought of it. Yeah, I have not. Of
You
course.
should check.
Yes, I have checked. Yeah.
Now, that's in Japan. What happened in ASEAN countries? Do ASEAN housewives also have Death Note? Pretty curious. And that is why we, in Hakuhodo Institute of Life and Living ASEAN, take this study very, very seriously. We talked to 13,000 husbands and wives across ASEAN. And because we are coming from the point of view of brand, media, and marketer, the key informations that we're going to take from this study is there any correlations between who rules the house and decision making? So basically, how much gender plays role in terms of purchase decision making? And how do we approach this study? We tried to separate the perspective of husband and wife. So when we visited their home, we did home interview. We asked the husband and wife to take turn to have a chat with us. We ask exactly the same questions and then analyze it. Of course, if the answers of husbands and wives are different, we don't try to cross-check because we don't want to create a war of the respondent's house.
Right. So today I will tell the story about household in ASEAN family. Of course, we know each home is different, but we found there are some underlying truths that are shared and create a pattern. As Devi said, one of the key questions we want to figure out from study is about decision making. So we try to understand that by knowing how husband and wife divided the role at home. From this classification, we found that there are 4 types of household in the ASEAN family. These are 4. Traditional, switch, flexible sharing, and task-based sharing. We will explain each of them later on.
And what is interesting about this finding is that we found out there's a discrepancy in terms of satisfaction level among these 4 household types. And how do we score satisfactions? We ask 3 kinds of questions. 1, how satisfied they are with the current role division. 2, how much they want to change the role division. And 3 is how much do they evaluate their partner. Of course, we don't want them to deviate from the topic, so we ask everything based on role divisions. So now let's take a look.
Okay, so let's start with a traditional household. This is pretty clear. The wife is responsible for house, and husband is responsible for work. Meet this guy. This husband is from Thailand. To him, he knows nothing about household chore, and he shows zero enthusiasm in dealing with private domain at home. In an interview, when we asked, he even said, "Don't talk to me about house chore. It's for women." It sounds too simple and somehow too old. This is a role division sheet that they show us in the interview. They extremely divided as house chore are wife's responsibility and work and pay bill is husband. See, 100-0 almost. Debbie, how do you feel about this one?
I think it's quite unfair, but I live with it as long as the husband pays the bill 100%.
That's right. You see, she's very practical. I know she's not traditional household, yes. So let's see their satisfaction level here. 72. Not bad. But the reason why they don't get higher score, like 80 and 90, is because of wife. She rates husband lower, like 60, even 50. I can tell you the truth here. We have one wife. She told us about how she imagined being a housewife before she get married. She thought life would be so easy until like a TV show. In Thailand, on TV show, the wife is always so beautiful and have a lot of time for herself, going spa and shopping. This is reality. Look at this. She must be cooking and taking care of a kid at the same time while husband is taking nap. This is reality. I feel so poor. So Devi, I have a question.
Yes.
What if your husband is taking nap while you're doing house chore?
Easy. I will just go shopping because he will pay 100% of whatever I buy, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you are not traditional household, yes. I hope the traditional household can be more generous than her. Okay?
All right, but before I go shopping, now let me take you to the second household type, which is switch. It is exactly the opposite of traditional. And how do you think it'll turn out? Do you think it'll work for men and women to switch roles? Husbands, is it okay for you to do household chores 100%? Take, what do you think?
Let me say unfair, but
Why?
it's okay as long as you pay 100.
Oh, equal, right?
Yes, equal.
Let's see what the respondent told us. Meet this girl. Her name is Rini, and she's from Jakarta. She's a cafe manager, which is quite common. What is uncommon about her is that her hobby is Thai boxing and gun shooting. It's scary. Take,
Yep.
will you allow your wives, if she asks your permission, for her to take gun shooting course?
Gun shooting?
Uh-huh.
Of course not.
Why not?
You told me that we have Death Note husband. You know, they try to use my toothbrush to wash toilet, right?
Yes, you're
Besides, they want to learn shooting.
right. Okay, so
No more.
toothbrush is okay.
Toothbrush is okay. No, not okay.
All right.
Of course not.
Now let's meet the next respondent, which is an ideal house husband. Why is it ideal? Because his hobby is to clean the house. He even renovated his laundry area to fulfill his desire to have a high tech. You can see here, the laundry rod is actually retractable. And not only cleaning, he loves cooking. So he showed us picture from his social media that he posts all the dishes that he created. Now, we see these two husband and wives are quite happy, but apparently, the average satisfaction score of switch household type is pretty low. Only 65% lower than traditional. This is quite a surprise to me, because I thought switch household is quite in the millennials, apparently. The satisfaction level is not so high. And why is that? For example, let's meet this house husband from Bangkok, Todd. He barely opened up to society about his status as a house husband, because in Thai social norm, man has to be the leader. So what happened to his wife? Because Todd doesn't earn any money, she has to take over the responsibility and became the breadwinner. So for most switch household type, they do it not by choice, but by force.
Okay, so let's move on to number 3, we call flexible sharing. Husband and wife share the responsibility and changing law depending on situation, very flexible. This is a couple from Indonesia. Husband and wife both have a work. They have 3 kids and have been married for 10 years. Here, she tells that there are no women chores, men chores. They can help each other whatever they have to do. Like car washing. She said, everyone thinks car washing is a man's job, but she can do it, it's no problem. Car washing is one of the laws she can rotate with her husband flexibly. I'm so surprised about this one because in my house, my car washing is my job. How about Debbie? Do you wash your car?
Of course not.
Why not?
No,
Why not?
you said it yourself, it's a man's job.
No, I didn't say it was my job. She said so, yes. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is a guy from Indonesia, his husband. He's working, of course, and his wife is working as sales manager. Sometimes she has to work overtime, and she cannot cook the dinner for the family. In this case, he's a nice guy. He goes home earlier and check YouTube to learn how to cook by himself. Sounds nice, isn't it? Huh? It means, sorry. So he was not good at cooking before, but now he gets used to it. This is where technology comes in handy. But here, satisfaction level, 74. It's almost same as traditional, even though their shares low. The reason why? Because of wife. She lays lower. Look at this. This wife from Thailand, she told us, both of them have a work. But when they come home, she still has more she has to more to do than husband. Look at this sheet. About 70% of the house chore are being done by the wife. Here, husband, only 30%. This is because there is a huge gap between attitude and actual behavior of husband. Well, this is big findings for me, Devi. I'm thinking to have my wife. But the thing is, I'm just thinking, not doing. This is problem, right? So if husband here, if you agree this one, we have to call wife as soon as possible after this session, okay?
Wait, before you call your wife, let's see the fourth household type, which is task-based sharing. Now, what is the difference between flexible and task-based? Both are sharing. The difference is that you just learned that in flexible, they divide the role based on whoever has the time to do it. Now, in task-based, they divide the role equally based on task. So, for example, in the kitchen area, if the husband loves to cook, then he became the chef of the family, and the wife will help wash the dishes. And in the laundry area, if the wife washes the clothes, so the husband will iron it afterwards. So in task-based sharing is more towards of a collaboration between husbands and wife. It is very clear with this next respondents from Singapore. You can see this husband. He is holding a spreadsheet that lists all the tasks that is divided between him and his wife. And you can see the example, like for the kitchen area, who's in charge of cleaning the kitchen floor, the glass panel, the cabinet. It is so amusing to me because usually I see this kind of spreadsheet only in public toilet for the janitor, and here they have it at home. What is also interesting about this couple is that they first met in a dating convention. It's a matchmaking event which is quite popular in Singapore right now. And when they got married, their story is published in the magazines. And Take, I can imagine that during the matchmaking event, each of them is bringing a spreadsheet and was like, loves cleaning, check. Loves to do spreadsheet, check. Ah, you're the one, something like that.
They don't even see the face,
No, very practical.
You.
But not all task-based sharing couples are practical. Meet these next respondents from Indonesia. Super, super sweet. They want to spend time together 24/7, husband and wife. So they're not just doing everything together at home, at work also together. Because the husband is the dentist and the wife is his assistant. Take, how do you feel about spending time with your wife 24/7?
Believe me, I love my wife. but I'm here in Bali, to be honest with you. I need me time, of course.
Are you sure? If you're here, she can write something on that note.
Of course, yes, I need me time.
And in task-based sharing, not only they do divide tasks, also they divide expenses and daily bills equally. Now, what about their satisfaction score? Can you guess? It's 87%. It's the highest among all four household types. And what is even more amazing is that only in this couple, in this type, we can see that so many couples are giving a score of 100 towards each other. Perfect score, very ideal. And why is this type of household is so satisfied? Because unlike flexible, who just think and don't do, this household type, they really translate mindset into actual behavior. So if you see here, the statement of men should help with house chores are very high, and the husband are really doing it because the wife said, yes, my husband helped me a lot. Take,
Yes.
do you help your wife to do house chores?
She asked me so many questions today. Yes, of course, I also do household chore at home. The reason why?
Why?
Because I have twin girls, so cute. So 3 women, 1 man in my home. You can see this is a point of power balance.
I disagree.
Why not?
I have 2 sons, so 3 men, 1 woman at home. I still don't do house chores.
Right. So it's not because of gender, right?
Yes.
So okay, I got it. In the beginning, I said like I rule the house. No, it's fault. She rules the house, right? Okay, let's see the satisfaction level here. The task-based sharing is the most satisfied couple in ASEAN market. After discovering the 4 types of household and its character, what's important for us next is which one is a majority. Based on 13,000 respondents across ASEAN, Devi, can you tell us which one is majority?
Of course, but before I reveal the result, ladies and gentlemen, do you want to guess which household type is the majority? Traditional.
Yeah, traditional.
Switch? Flexible? Or task-based sharing? All right, and the result is 76% out of ASEAN population consists of sharing household. So for those of you who just answered traditional, you're wrong. Traditional is only 23%. Switch is 2%. Flexible is 25% and task-based is 51%. So again, ladies and gentlemen, ASEAN household consists of 76% of sharing type. And with these big revelations, traditional household used to be the majority, but it is now a declining trend. So the question for us here, brand media marketer, are we still using our traditional mindset when we talk about target audience?
So perhaps this reality will help us open our eyes. Sharing type will grow even bigger in the near future because of 2 reasons. Husband and wife both have work more and more in the future. And the technological advancement have blurred gender boundaries. Now, what will be changing in terms of, sorry, what will be changing in terms of decision making is sharing is not only happiest and the majority, but also they have a highest level of mutual decision making. It means the more satisfied they are, the more they share the decision making journey together, right?
So as we see that sharing is the majority of the population, allow me to simplify the purchase decision making into 3 steps, which is identifying needs, screening, and finalizing. Sharing household type, they do every step of the way together. Let me give you an example of what's happening in the car category. So during the identifying needs, both husband and wife will discuss together of what kind of car that they're looking for. And then during screening process, the husband will collect all information about specs and features and bring it home to discuss it with the wife. So specs and features are husband territory, but design is wife territory. And then later on, during finalizing process, both husband and wife will go to showroom together and decide, can you guess who will make the final decision? Exactly, wife. Even it is so common, wife is the one who will choose the color of the car. So what once a very male-driven category, we can see that women plays a very big role in decision making. Now that's car. What about FMCG? It is also moved towards genderless because as we can see in sharing household, there are so many husbands that do grocery shopping where they buy all the household stuff. And they don't need to have wife's approval to choose any brand that they want. And why is wife at ease? Because the husband is doing the chores. So they know which brand that suits them. And even it is now quite common for us to listen to men's conversation saying things like, hey bro, don't buy that brand. It doesn't remove stain. Buy this brand.
And how to use diaper.
And use diapers, right. So ladies and gentlemen, if that is how husband and wife operates in terms of purchase decision making. That means us, brands, medias, marketers. We have to transform our mindset. We have to embrace the reality that car targeting only to men is misleading. And detergent targeting only to moms is also misleading. So what once was a gender-based targeting, now it has to transform to couple-based targeting.
So now, let's think about how we can create greater impact. As brand, marketer, and media, we do not only sell. We also have responsibility and necessity to bring a value to our audience life. We have to help them create a better decision. With this study, we encourage brands to do two things. The first, encouraging super dad, we have to tell them it's normal for husband to do house chore in the future. Second, enhancing wife knowledge. We have to give them the correct information, whatever she wants.
So, ladies and gentlemen, coming back to our very big questions in the beginning. Who rules the house? The answer is, they don't rule, they share.
Share.
Thank you.